Priestess, and welcome to this live video. Today I'm going to be talking about the full moon in Leo and certain lessons that we can take from a very famous movie called The Dark Knight Rises, which can actually help us better navigate this energy at this time. So, Leo full moons tend to be associated with matters of the heart, with passion, with love, with children, with anything where you really put your creative and passionate investment of energies into. Okay? It can also be related to things like politics, like the arts, like anything that truly moves people one way or another. That's what Leo is about. So, wearing one's heart on their sleeve is a very typical Leo way of navigating the question of emotions and passions. So, that's not the only way possible. See, this particular Leo full moon is also conjunct a body called Cyllarus. Now, Cyllarus, for those of you who have been following me, you know that Cyllarus was a centaur who effectively did not see where he was going, ran into a spear, and died. Yet he was deeply, deeply in love with his partner Hylanome. When Hylanome came to find out what had happened by accident, she then deliberately threw herself for the spear that killed him. So to me, while Cyllarus is indicative of deep passions, it is also indicative of the need for caution, or at the very least, to look at the lay of the land before you take specific jumps or specific moves in a particular direction. And this need for greater caution, even in matters of deep passion and deep emotion, is very much a theme of this particular full moon. We're also seeing this being further amplified by the fact that this particular full moon also squares Jupiter in Taurus. So, whatever it is that your heart is asking you to do at this time has a lot to do with the larger relationship you have with guidance, abundance, and whatever it is that you are trying to do to find greater stability and security in life. And the reason why I'm going to reference The Dark Knight Rises is because there's a very famous scene there where, and this is Christian Bale Batman. His spine has been broken by the villain, one of the villains, and he gets dumped into this prison in who knows where. And he has to try and find his way out. So in the movie, one of the key moments, and the music is incredible for this. One of the key moments is him realizing that to actually get out, he must take this leap that normally would send a person plummeting to their death. But to do so, knowing what the risks were, he will actually need to let go of the safety rope that had been holding him back. And of course, Batman makes the jump. I know he manages to go save Gotham, everybody is okay, and so on and so forth. But I highly recommend looking up the prison escape scene in The Dark Knight Rises for the full feel of what I'm talking about. So there is this interplay, there is this balance that is needed between looking at what moves you, what are the risks of going for what you want, and in some cases, letting go of the safety rope, letting go of the safety net, jumping into the unknown, not knowing what the outcome will be. But that is a very big difference from Cyllarus, who did not do his due diligence and who just ran into something, died, that's it. But in some cases, you'll have to do the research, but you'll also have to take that leap of faith. And that is very much what the energy of this particular full moon is guiding us to do. So there has to be that strength, that discipline, that willingness to feel what you are feeling, but also that fearlessness in letting go of the harness so that you can make that jump forward. That doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get to where you need to get to, but in day-to-day life, the results, or the consequences aren't as dramatic as dying in a prison in a hole in the earth somewhere. It usually just means that you'll find something else that you needed, or faith will have a way of showing you a different door and a different path. So in a nutshell, this is what this particular full moon is about. In a nutshell. So in whatever it is that you're really being called to do, look at the lay of the land and then decide, is it worth letting go of the safety, or is it worth making the jump at all? It can be anything. It could be a relationship. It could be an artistic project. It could be a certain approach to a way that you deal with children, whatever it is. So bear this process in mind. Another thing that I do want to say, generally speaking, about this time is there is, of course, an increased and intensified need for caution, especially in psychic and spiritual matters. Because Ceres is also aspecting the galactic center, Boracici, Neptune, Therius, there is also very, very much the need to be aware of what you are taking into your frame of reference in the name of guidance. Not everyone who claims to guide you and nurture you is necessarily looking out for your best interests. Sometimes people have a way of hooking you in the guise of providing information that may be quite useful. So, whatever information you are taking on, make sure there are no back doors. Make sure there are no hidden agendas. Make sure there are no expectations. Because when you are coming from a space of feeling wounded and vulnerable in yourself, you are far, far more likely to be intoxicated by the rhetoric of nurture. So that is something you really need to be discerning about at this time. And of course, Eros is also moving into Aries on the same day. So there is this great amount of impulsivity and impetuosity that can get you entangled in things that you didn't really need to be in the first place. On top of everything else, we also see Mars and Mercury in Capricorn. They are sextiling Nessus the abuser. They are also making a direct square to Chiron in Aries. Vulnerability, self awareness, self healing, navigation from a space of centeredness is the only way through. And after all of that, as I said, you may still need to make the jump without the rope. So that's what I wanted to say in a nutshell with respect to this Leo full moon. I will now move to the community and see how everyone is doing. So, I see Michi. Hello, Michi. Hello, Candy. Hello, Search. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Shashhona. Hello, Bettina. Hi, Chiron. Hi, VB. Hi, Joyous Day. And hi, Yessie. Good to see all of you. We have a nice little crowd, and it's some of the regulars, some of the usual, so I'm very happy to see that. We've just had a very brief discussion, a summary on some of the more important energy dynamics that are influencing this particular Leo full moon. What to do, how to navigate it, what not to do. So if you're just joining in, go back to the beginning. So, oh, I see Grandpa. Hello, hello. If there's any questions on the material that has been covered, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'm obviously very happy to say hello to everyone in any case. So I'm just going to give everyone a minute, especially for those who were here from the beginning of the live. So if there's any questions, anything that you need some clarification on around this, just let me know, let me know, let me know. And here's a good tip. If you're not really sure what it is your emotions want you to do at this time, if it is in fact a valid thing for you to do, listen to things that listen to things that or listen, watch, go to the arts, go to drama, go to music, go to things that actually move you. And very often your answer will come through what it is you are drawn to at this time. For me, it's Batman and the Dark Knight Rises. Everybody is different. I remember deeply, deeply loving that movie when that came out in 2012. So there's no surprise that's what I'm drawn to at this time. Ayumi says, we'll go back to here beginning. Sounds good. Search says, could this also mean to break free from bad habits and to jump but scary but healthier habits? Depends on your chart, depends on your journey, but yes, absolutely, you could also use this energy to do that. So yes, that would support this perfectly. VB says, is this a good time to expect a positive around things like change in career, jobs, life, etc.? I would say it's a bit of a mixed bag just because Jupiter is involved. And for some people, Jupiter will bring blessings of abundance and goodness. And for other people, Jupiter can bring an abundance of shit. So which one it is really depends on where you have been. But from a very, very bird's eye perspective, yes, we can see this as a push, especially in matters of finance, matters of finding stability, finding joy, matters of self-worth and self-esteem. It's the thing that just pushes us forward. But again, do your due diligence before making the jump. Search says, thank you, doctor. No worries, no worries. Any other questions? With respect to what we have been discussing, with respect to what's been covered, let me know. Otherwise, I can log off and continue doing work, which is what I've been doing the whole day. So, and listening to lots of music and kicking ass at Scrabble, which by all accounts is a good way. Michi says, do back doors come in the form of invisible contracts? Yes, definitely. It may even be a contract that you know, that you are aware of. Sometimes it is invisible, sometimes it's very visible. A back door is simply something that you're not acknowledging. So it can come in many different ways. Candy says, thanks for the movie clip reference. It seems to mirror my current experience, like how to move forward when you already feel like so much is broken. I mean, literally, Batman's spine is broken. So if he can do it, so can you. So Shannon says, hi. Hello, Shannon. Hi. I've just had a quick discussion on this Leo full moon. Oh, okay, good. She's at work, so she can't stay long. No problems, no problems. It's nice to see you pop in, but do remember to catch the replay later. But yeah, any other questions with respect to the material we have covered or anything that you may be having some difficulties in navigating at this time? I see Jennifer. Hello, hello. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I would want to mention. The only other thing that comes to mind, I mean, given the fact that we have Mercury, Venus, Mars in Capricorn, we got Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, there's a lot of focus on the earth signs. So, no matter whatever else is going in the astral realm, the psychic realm, the dream realm, spiritual states, etheric states, the list goes on and on and on, always make sure to bring your focus back to the practical. They call it mundane, but it's not a bad thing. You know, at the end of the day, whatever we see in spirit is going to have some representation here and vice versa. So even if you don't know what to do about these invisible and larger questions, make changes in the way you can in your everyday. That will help. Search says, should we be careful with astral messages? Yes, absolutely. There's a heck of a lot of illusion going on around. So just don't take anything at face value. I also had a couple of things that were trying to send me messages, and I looked at it and I went, yeah, okay, cool, we'll see. And then they didn't know what to do with me. So, it's just like there's a lot of false information in the air right now. Do not take anything or anyone at face value. Let's see. Yes, she says, Dr. B woke up with a lot on my mind and had to talk to myself in order to calm the mind down. Is that part of this moon? It can be. It can be. Because the thing about the Leo moon is that it draws out a lot of what we may be feeling at a very, very deep level. If you think about it, Leo is associated with the heart. So this is really an energy that brings forth what has been in the heart. And sometimes the mind is needed to balance it, to create that bridge between the two. So absolutely, yes, it would be perfectly within what would be expected here. Just bear in mind, you need to have a healthy balance between the mental and the emotional, the spiritual and the material. So, that's a good way of looking at all of that. Milia says aloha, aloha. Jane says greeting, hello Jane. Michi says a diamond, yay Michi. So yes, good questions today, everybody. Good questions. Very glad to see it. Very glad to see it. Let me just think if there's any. In the meantime, let me just think if there's anything else that comes to mind. But in the meantime, if there's anything you think of, just type it down. Um, no, I think I've covered everything. I've covered the basics. So, having said that, I send all of you lots and lots and lots of love, and I hope that this material helps you navigate. It is perfectly okay to be feeling emotionally overwhelmed right now. Just bear in mind you got to process all of that before you go jumping the gun. Michi wants to know how's Ariel and Josh. Well, all of the four little fellows are okay, but I have been paying more attention to them, especially today, because Leo also deals with children. And given there's some risk of impetuosity and harm here, I've just been keeping an eagle mummy eye on everybody and, playing them music that they like so that they know they are loved. So they are all okay and healthy and well and all of that. Oh, okay. Vivi asks, how do you think one does distinguish between those who suck up our energies in the name of asking for help? Okay, this is a good question. Bear in mind that with Ceres doing everything it's doing in Sagittarius, there are two different types of energy predation here. Sometimes the energy predation can come in the name of someone offering you help, and sometimes it can come in the name of someone asking. At the end of the day, in both cases, the best way to tell the difference is to see how you feel. So, whether or not you are giving or receiving nurture, if you feel drained afterwards in an unnatural way, something is up. If you feel like there is a constant expectation and it's more and more and more and more, something is up. And so, in that sense, you should also, one of the things that you can do to preempt those situations is to basically have a conversation around expectations. Be very clear about expectations. And if your expectations are not met, if there is no assent in maintaining a particular baseline, do not engage. That's the best thing you can do. VB asks, against those who need genuine help, I've been hounded by one person who behaves like they need help, but they seem to be toxic. See, if someone needs, okay, now I know I talk about this almost every time I go live, but it's an important topic, so I do. So look at the people in Palestine. Are they hounding people for help? No. That is where help is most needed. That is a good example of people who genuinely need help and are not trying to hook people into things. If someone is actually hounding you and demanding your help, honey, that's toxic. So, having said that, I hope that answers your question. Gary says, "Hi, Dr. B. So nice to catch you live. Nice to see. And do send my regards to Ginger, your cat." CC says 100%. Jane says, certainly seems to be cosmic focus today. Indeed, Jane, we've already had an extended discussion on the full moon in Leo. So if you like, you can go back to the start of the video, check that out, because I'm sure you'd like the astrological details there. But yes, so there is a lot that's happening, and we just need to remember to discern through whatever comes. I know I always say this. I always talk about faith. I always talk about discernment, but these are key pillars on our journey. There is no point talking about this process, that star, this sign, this, that, if you don't do those two things all of the time. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're probably wanting some roller coaster, adrenaline fueled version of spirituality that I will not teach. So, discernment, process, work through it, move through it. Serge says, how do we know our discernment is true? Sometimes I doubt myself. The fact that you doubt yourself is a very good thing, because the people who absolutely have no doubt in what they are discerning are the ones who are most dangerous. Simply because the moment you believe that you are infallible, you're going to fuck up. That is as clear as day. So the fact that you have doubt is actually a good thing. Doubt is a good thing. Where it becomes a bad thing is where that doubt actually becomes a block to your ability to develop and deepen your faith. Are you going to get things wrong? Yes. Everybody gets things wrong, especially when they are in their starting path of learning how to develop their intuition and discernment. I have never met anyone who got everything all right all of the time. And the ones who claim they did, well, let's just say karma has it in for them. So, no, don't worry about the doubts. Even if you make a mistake, get back up again. It's like in Batman. Why do we fall? So that we can get back up again. Probably a good time to revisit the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. Here's a fun fact that I do want to share. Now, for those of you who, like me, grew up with watching Batman the animated series, and if you notice, there is a very similar feeling between Batman the animated series and Christopher Nolan Batman. There is a reason for this, a hidden reason. And that reason is the music. So the composer for Batman, the animated series, was not Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman did the original 1989 theme. You can see this is where my geek comes out. But the one who actually did the music for the animated series was a woman named Shirley Walker. And there's even a recording of her talking about how she composed it. It is beautiful. So her music is amazing. But her keyboardist was Hans Zimmerman. So, and Hans Zimmer scored the music for the Dark Knight trilogy. He effectively would have been meant. He would have drawn something from the essence of what Shirley Walker created in the animated series. So, in this sense, just a fun fact for Batman fans, there is a continuity because of the vision of music that transcended two different generations of composers who were connected by the same project, just in different points of time, which I find is a great thing. So, Search says, appreciate you. I will totally watch the films tonight. I mean, honestly, I like the music more than I like the films because there's something there that I really enjoy, but the films are pretty good. Um, so, having said that, and my little tidbit on Batman, I hope all this information helps all of you. And I hope all of you continue to discern, continue to care about yourself and others, and continue to choose paths towards greater happiness, greater joy, greater truth, greater authenticity. So, with that, ciao ciao for now. Bye bye, everyone.